Hi, everybody. I'm Butch Stearns of the Pulse Network. He's Kerry Byrne of Cold Hard Football Facts. It's time for our Game of the Week. This is Cold Hard Football Facts on Football Nation, and our Game of the Week this week, Kerry, is Saints at Broncos. An interesting one for a lot of reasons. Let's start out with the two quarterbacks. Two battle-tested warrior veterans, add it what adjective you want. Drew Brees and Peyton Manning have been there, but now they're leading teams that are flawed.
Well, I think this game speaks to the importance of quarterback in the NFL. Neither has a winning record. The Saints 2-4, the Broncos 3-3. But Sunday night, this is kind of a glitzy, big-time showdown because of Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. Two guys you know can light it up against whoever they face.
Now you call them, in your description, elite gunslingers.
Yep.
Yet you look at the numbers, which you always do, and when you go against quality opponents, neither one of these teams have beaten a quality opponent.
No, the Saints 0-1, and the Broncos, perhaps most concerningly, 3-3, but 0-3 against the three quality opponents they face this year. Atlanta, New England, and Houston. They put up a good fight against New England, but that's obviously a source of concern. And I don't know. I don't see this being a blowout game. I see two quarterbacks going toe-to-toe, and why I think it'll be an exciting game.
The Saints, when we look at Drew Brees in that offense, still the same.
Yep.
And again, backed it up by the numbers. But when you look at the diversity between the Saints' offensive numbers and defensive numbers, they're like a couple other teams.
We need a little Bob Seger there, still the same in our soundtrack. Well, let's look at the numbers here. Number 5 still in passing yards per attempt. Number 6 in real quarterback rating, our measure of all aspects of quarterback play. Number 7 in offensive passer rating. The problem, Butch, look at here defensively. We knew this team had issues defensively last year. They've been accentuated this year. Terrible, no matter how you measure the Saints' pass defense, they're terrible. Can't stop anybody, and it's hard to win football games in the NFL that way.
So the Saints become a fantasy football player's dream, but when it comes to winning big football games, that's not the formula you want.
No, there's a reason they're 2-4. The formula for winning in the NFL is pretty simple, right? Solid, efficient play at quarterback and making the opposing quarterback inefficient. The Saints making every opposing quarterback very efficient, very productive. When even Matt Castle and the Chiefs, the worst team in football, put up big numbers against your pass defense, you're in a lot of trouble.
So when we look at the Broncos and we look at their numbers, they're as diverse, but you got a different set of numbers.
Well, what I think is interesting, right? The big story is how will Peyton Manning change the culture and change the dynamics in Denver. And the story last year was that Denver kind of got lucky, right? They were a mediocre team that got a couple lucky breaks and won the division with an 8-8 record.
It was faith, Kerry. It wasn't luck. It was
Whatever it takes, man. But they did it, Well, let's look at some of the numbers. Last year, number 26 in offensive passer rating, number 26 in relativity index, how you perform relative to the quality of your opponents, and number 28 in our power rankings. Butch, this team statistically was a 4 or 5 win team last year that still went 8-8 and made the playoffs. But now look at this year, vast improvements in every indicator, including number 4 in our relativity index. This team is playing very well, very, very well, among the best in football relative to the quality of the opponents they've faced week in and week out.
Yet the problem is they're a 500 team. They should be better than according to your numbers, they should be 4-2 or 5-1.
I just tweeted this out a little while. Follow us at Football Facts, but I just tweeted this out, Butch, earlier. Since 2011, Mark Sanchez 11-12 as a starter. Peyton Manning 3-3 as a starter. Tim Tebow 8-5 as an NFL starter. So take that how you will. But in reality, you could almost argue that the Broncos are underachieving, number 4 in the relativity index, but 3-3 in the record books. I think you could argue that this team still has a lot to prove.
So if you're watching this video, this is our game of the week, the Saints and the Broncos. We're not giving you a pick. Where can they go on CHFF to
go
get
to Cold Hard Football Facts, click the insider button, the yellow insider button. All our real and spectacular picks for every NFL game. And, of course, a lot more information, including Spreadopedia, our great point spread database. A lot of very valuable information to help you pick winners and losers on Sunday.
Drew Brees and the Saints at Peyton Manning and the Broncos. That's the game of the week for Cold Hard Football Facts. This is Cold Hard Football Facts on Football Nation.